If you are new to this channel and enjoy the content that you see, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications to be alerted and notified whenever a brand new video is posted onto this channel, along with following me on these social media platforms to stay connected with me at all times. Also, feel free to check out all of your favorite videos and playlists located down in the description box below. Thank you so much for your continued support. Now let's begin. With Marvel's Avengers 4 movie on the horizon, set to debut in 2019, fans of the Marvel Cinematic Universe are begging the question as to what exactly the role of Hulk is going to be in the upcoming movie, especially now having to go up against Thanos, who is not only more powerful than how he was before having to wield the Power Stone, but now having to wield all 6 of the Infinity Stones, but also seeing his closest friends having to disappear before his very eyes. The question lingers, what role is the Hulk going to have in the upcoming Avengers 4 movie, as I do believe that the Hulk is going to be more involved in the Avengers 4 than how he ever was before, especially with the inevitable rematch that we're all expecting to see between Hulk and Thanos. Now, the basis of what's going to happen with Hulk pretty much predates that of Thor Ragnarok and of course Avengers Infinity War. Now, it was hinted before, especially in Thor Ragnarok, that Bruce Banner is implying that in some way, shape, or form he wants to become one with the Hulk himself, which of course we've seen in the comics. When looking back, the Hulk and Bruce Banner have joined forces in creating Professor Hulk and having the body of the Hulk in the mind of Bruce Banner. Now, something like that happening has been teased within the Marvel Cinematic promotional teaser for the Avengers 4, as we see the Hulk wearing a very interesting suit, something in which we haven't seen be done before. Even with all of these assumptions being made about Professor Hulk actually being a thing in the Avengers 4, how exactly is the Hulk going to contest against Thanos now that has the powers of the universe within the palm of his hand? Now, when having to look back, it is implied that at some given point the Avengers, whether that be Tony Stark or somebody else within the group, is going to recreate their own version of what the Infinity Gauntlet is, in wielding that power and stopping Thanos and or reversing the events of the snap that Thanos had created. And a lot of fans are making the assumption that the Hulk is going to be the one to wield that of the Infinity Gauntlet in fighting against Thanos. Now, when having to study and looking at this theory objectively, the Russo brothers have confirmed, and I quote, "The last movie broke our hearts, the next movie will blow our minds," in creating the ultimate cosmic culmination of every event that we've ever seen within the MCU having to reach its conclusion in this upcoming movie. So the possibility of the Hulk wielding his own Infinity Gauntlet having to be created by one of the Avengers isn't outside of the realm of possibility, but we also have to beg the question, how exactly is one going to be made specifically for the Hulk, which the second question comes into play as to why the Hulk and nobody else, which when going back and studying the fight between the Hulk and Thanos in Infinity War, it was made painfully clear that Thanos does stand superior over the Hulk, and that was when Thanos was only wielding that of the Power Stone. Now Thanos has all 6 of the Infinity Stones, so as a hypothetical, if the Hulk were to fight Thanos at this given point right now, the Hulk will lose. However, having to introduce Captain Marvel, who is stated to be the strongest Avenger that has ever been introduced in the MCU thus far, we can only make the assumption that yes, the Hulk will fight Thanos at some given point, but not without the assistance of people like Thor, Captain Marvel, and others to further his victory against Thanos now, as opposed to losing as he did in Infinity War, which I am implying even if we do get to see Professor Hulk in the film, which I do believe we will, I don't think that the Hulk is going to win without the aid of the other Avengers. And I do believe that with the Hulk having to be a big factor in this film, he might be the one, if anything, he will be the one to remove the Infinity Gauntlet from Thanos' possession as the Avengers go in for the kill, which also begs the question, if the Avengers could kill off Thanos to begin with, without the Infinity Gauntlet, Thanos is vulnerable. Very vulnerable. But does that also imply if Tony Stark or somebody else were to create the Vibranium Gauntlet or even their own version of the Infinity Gauntlet, that they would just simply hand that over to somebody who's unstable like the Hulk? Absolutely not. That, which of course implies if the Hulk is even able to retain the intelligence of Bruce Banner, then of course you may have a viable option in giving the Hulk the Infinity Gauntlet, but I don't think that the Hulk is going to have any sort of gauntlet of his own to go up against Thanos. But instead, I do believe that in their inevitable rematch, the Hulk will not have a gauntlet of his own, but instead he will provide an assisting aid in disarming Thanos of his gauntlet and giving the Avengers a chance. Which, if you stop to think about it, it wouldn't make any sense for the Hulk to lose once again if he were to fight Thanos, especially when looking back as to how far the Hulk has come only for him to get bitched out in Avengers Infinity War. It just wouldn't make any sense for the character to evolve even further, but instead regressing the character backwards in allowing the Hulk to feel that much more useless as a character when in fact he is not. Now, is the Hulk going to die in Avengers 4? Absolutely not. There is so much more potential and substance from the Hulk character that Disney can use to ultimately manifest and profit down the line. By killing Hulk off in the film just wouldn't make any sense. You can make the argument in debating whether or not to kill the other Avengers, but the Hulk is someone that needs to remain. Now, I do believe that in the long run, when looking at Avengers 5, Avengers 6, I do believe that Disney is going to center itself around revealing a secret Fox/Marvel movie character to appear, that of course having to be the next villain introduced in the MCU, especially now since Disney and Fox have worked out a deal. It's highly probable now for us to see characters like Doctor Doom or perhaps even Galactus appear as the next villains of the MCU down the line once the story of Thanos has reached its conclusion, which could ultimately imply that most characters, if not some, are going to stay permanently dead, but I don't think that the Hulk is going to be one of them. And especially now with Hulk having to appear in more of the Marvel movies, as an example with Thor Ragnarok, and now having to appear in Infinity War and Avengers 4, I do believe that with the character of Hulk, there could be many stories being told centering itself around Hulk and having to possibly even dwell into the heart of the monster storyline, or perhaps maybe even introducing Worldbreaker Hulk down the line. Now, when having to look at the entire scenario of Hulk versus Thanos in Infinity War, yes, the Hulk within the entire span of Infinity War had become a joke, but those who have read the comics before would ultimately know beforehand that the Hulk is not even in the same league with Thanos, and that is just exactly what it is, an absolute fact. And let's not forget that Hulk was competing against Thanos, who had the power gem within his possession. Thanos is truly in a league by himself, which of course, when even looking back at the comics, Thanos can even fight Odin to a complete draw, and that is something that, arguably speaking, the Hulk simply cannot do. Now, I do believe that the Hulk can win against Thanos, but not without the assistance of Thor, Captain Marvel, and the rest of the Avengers that are going to be a part of the upcoming movie, and that is simply an absolute fact. If you throw the Hulk in against Thanos once more, Thanos would simply do what he had done best and beat Hulk into the dirt. That is an absolute fact, as seen in Avengers Infinity War. Now, when Bruce Banner had spoken to the Hulk and saying, "We need to work this out, buddy," I do believe that that in and of itself is going to be something that's going to introduce the merger of Banner and Hulk in creating Professor Hulk. And I do believe that unlike concepts like Worldbreaker Hulk or even Heart of the Monster Hulk, who in fact are completely unstable, your only logical character to have in this film centering itself around the Hulk is going to be Professor Hulk. Now, for concepts and ideas down the line after Avengers 4, you could introduce a family concept to the Hulk in which he ultimately ends up losing, in which could summon Worldbreaker Hulk as we've seen in the comics before, but would not be a good concept to adapt, especially in the next Avengers film, being that it would be too soon, and you need to further establish along with closing off parts of the character Hulk arc, because as we begin to build towards the future of the MCU with brand new Avengers having to be introduced, that story arc with the Hulk currently needs to come to a close, opening the doors to lots of potential development for the Hulk character as we continue in the MCU. Now, the events of Hulk having to come out and aiding everyone during the Battle of Wakanda could change if time travel and of course the execution of the quantum realm is going to be adapted in this film, in allowing Bruce Banner, or in this case the Hulk, to further and better reconcile with the events of what's going on. They're going to need the Hulk's help on Wakanda, especially against the battle with Thanos, in order to reverse the effects of Thanos having to kill Vision in order to gain the Mind Stone. But again, that adaptation would come in the form of time travel or executing the quantum realm device and having to manipulate through different universes and dimensions to further alter the course of history. Now, with that being said, with the execution of Ant-Man and Iron Man, they can always adapt a scenario to where they went back in time and they allowed Bruce Banner and the Hulk to reconcile with what had happened, but the likelihood of having to tell that story arc and allowing Bruce Banner to reconcile and connect with the Hulk could be a little convoluted in nature, but I do believe that it's possible, especially when looking at what the Hulk has to offer against Thanos during the course of battle, in which by the end I do believe that Hulk will inevitably have his rematch against Thanos, but I'm not entirely certain if Hulk can beat Thanos by himself, unless of course he is able to remove the Gauntlet from Thanos and allowing Thanos to be vulnerable for attack by the other Avengers. Only then can I see Hulk defeat a weakened Thanos by beating him down, similar to how Thanos had beat down Hulk on Thor's ship. But by the end of the day, let us know what you all think in the comment section below. What is your prognostication for the Avengers 4 movie? What are your overall thoughts on the Hulk versus Thanos rematch? Do you guys believe that Hulk does in fact have a chance against Thanos now, or do you believe that the only way the Hulk does have a chance against Thanos is for the Infinity Gauntlet to be removed and or destroyed? What are your overall thoughts as to what's to be expected for the Hulk character in the upcoming movie, and where do you guys see the Hulk character playing off in the future? Do you guys believe that perhaps maybe one day we might get another Hulk movie, or are we bound to see Worldbreaker Hulk, or maybe even Heart of the Monster and Professor Hulk within the main continuity of the MCU following the Avengers 4 movie? Let us know what you all think down below. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys are stoked, ready, and excited for the Avengers 4 movie alongside Hulk vs. Thanos Round 2, then be sure to go ahead and slap a like down below. If you guys love Marvel and of course the Avengers movies, don't forget to punch that subscribe button. Tune back in for more. If you guys want to watch more Marvel videos such as this, you guys can go ahead and click the link down in the description box below to watch more awesome videos and discussions alongside theories such as this, as by the end of it, I do have faith in the Hulk character, but only if done right, because I do believe that the Hulk does have a chance at redemption in allowing him to evolve as a character down the line. But until then, we're gonna have to go right through the Avengers 4 movie to find out. So thank you all so much for watching, guys. Once again, tune back in for more, and I'll be seeing you all down in the comment section below. Have a great day, everybody. Peace.